no. Like not a good time to reach out, not a time to ever reach out. Definitely have that conversation before you reach out, because it's going to come back 20 times the power and the strength and the chaos, and it's going to create harsh feelings, and so you want to avoid that. Question number 3. I have been married for the past 20 plus years. However, before this, I was married for 3 years to someone else. It was a mistake, but I feel badly about asking for the divorce. We haven't spoken in 23 years and I have been feeling like I want to reach out to apologize and clear the air. She seems like she is happy, but she is a grudge type, so I'm not sure if this is something I should approach. Did too much time pass to start all that up again? Ooh, I love this question. First of all, dear heart, I'm so glad that you're asking it, because it means that you're deeply reflecting on yourself and your relationships, and you're peeling back so many layers, especially even if it's like so long ago. And the fact that it's still a little bit heavy on your heart and that you're willing to approach it, I think is just an amazing thing in and of itself. So first of all, yeah, kudos for that. What comes to mind on that is so many things. One, I would write a letter. I wouldn't send it. I would write a letter. I would write everything you want to say, because I know that when I write something, I can really be deep with myself, because sometimes when we talk to people, there's emotions, there's unpredictability, there's, time, like if we actually get somebody on the phone. But if you write, you've got it all laid out, like what you would actually say. So that would be step number 1. Step number 2 is I would really feel into that healing heart that I feel like you have or desire around that relationship, and just feel into what would that feel like if I had had that conversation and she was receptive, not her old grunge self, but she was receptive. Like what would I feel like? How would I feel? And just really, really feel into that. I know sometimes that can be challenging because you're not there and it's not happening, but it's more than imagination. It's really about healing your own heart through that process of being like, wow, if I was able to express myself and she said, thank you for contacting me. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for caring. Thank you for wanting to clear this. Thank you for wanting to make sure that I'm okay. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for doing the work. Like, if she were to say all those things to you, like, how would you really feel? Like, it almost brings tears to my eyes, because I think, wow, I would feel really great if someone said that to me after writing them a letter. So that's step number 2. Just feel into what that outcome would feel like. And then step number 3 is I would throw it out to the universe and ask the universe, show me signs if the timing is right for me to reach out to this person. I would look for, and I don't mean this exactly, but I would look for things like, is there someone from your friend circle that suddenly connects to you that is also connected to her? Is there something that happens? I don't know. I can't imagine you're on Facebook. Maybe you are. I don't know. Connected to them still, or something shows up. A picture falls out of nowhere that reminds you of that period of time in your life. Something that it's like spirit is speaking to me, nudging me, saying, okay, it's okay. It's okay. And feel into whatever that sign or symbol is. Because you might get something that actually says no. Like, not a good time to reach out, not a time to ever reach out, because remember, at the end of this life, you will have that opportunity to meet with everyone and have that healing, which doesn't discount wanting to do it now. And, hopefully if it's divinely guided, that it will happen. But number 4, I think, and this is just what's coming to me, is if in fact you got all the hits that said, yes, I should reach out to this person, then And one other tool about this, like if you're not feeling like you're getting clear signs, I would take 5 days and say, for the next 5 days, before I go to bed, I'm going to ask the question, is it an appropriate time to reach out to and put their name, ask the question, fall asleep, and when you wake up in the morning, is it yes or no? Like, what is the first thing that comes to mind, yes or no? So then if you get 3 yeses, obviously you don't have to do the full 5 days. But if you don't, then do the 5 days and see which one comes forward. And that also can help you answer that question. Another tip, and these are tips we can use for lots of questions that we have, is I like to muscle test. I do this actually so many times a day, I don't even realize it. But is the timing appropriate for me to reach out to my previous spouse? Take your fingers, your thumb and your middle finger, and put them together like this. You're probably familiar with this, and muscle test it. So you can start like just testing this yourself. Like, my name is Beth, and it just naturally my fingers just stay together because that's true. My name is Pineapple, and they just go apart. I know you might be watching. If you haven't done this, you got to try it yourself, and you have to practice just a little bit. The best thing is when you just get the mind out of the way, and that's the practice. So maybe it won't work on the first couple of tries, but keep trying, because you will start to get from your higher self like yes or no, yes or no. And that helps me a lot. In fact, I use it so much that I can now just use the mental image of my fingers, and I don't always have to come to do this, but sometimes I still come back to it because it's helpful to just, if I'm really in a tizzy and I just can't get that clarity in my mind's eye to see my fingers, then I will use my actual fingers. So that's just another tip. Okay, so number four, you've been married for 20 plus years. And so it would be really important that you have a conversation with your current spouse about the journey that you've taken and why you feel so compelled to want to reach out. I would highly recommend it. I don't think you have to do it. I think you need to feel into if this is right for you and your spouse and the dynamics between you and your spouse. In some cases you may feel like you don't need to, that your relationship is close enough and that you just really want to have this conversation. But I think what's hard sometimes is that when the spouse finds out something like this later, because if you're scared of the confrontation or you're just apprehensive about what that person's reaction is going to be, I guarantee that their reaction is going to be 10 times if they find out later, like if you don't bring it to them, right? So that's the trick, is that if you are not sharing it with your partner because you are concerned about them hassling you or them pounding on you about it or whatever, those are not the right words, but you know what I mean. Then definitely have that conversation before you reach out, because it's going to come back 20 times, the power and the strength and the chaos, and it's going to create harsh feelings. And so you want to avoid that. But if you know that like your partner would be like, yeah, no problem, of course, if you just know that innately within yourself, then don't worry about, asking them or having that whole long conversation, because it might not be something that they need to have in their own sphere. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. I know it was a long answer. It's just what came out, those 4 steps. Tell me in the chat if there's anything else that you want to know about that, if that was helpful, or anyone else that's listening, even if it wasn't your question, let me know what you think. And let's go to the next question. Okay. So